Welcome to Module 9. In Module 9, we are going to talk about how to boost your productivity with AI tools. And in the slide, so what I did for you is I took the slide notes, copied and pasted it here, and I also took the starter prompts, copied and pasted it here. And we're going to talk a little bit about integrating with other tools. Now, the reason I say a little bit, this is a deep pool we could dive into and go deep for days, or it's something I can introduce you to and then you can dive into. Personally, I'd rather you learn this for yourself. So, what I did was I asked ChatGPT to work on 4 things for me with me, and the first thing is the plan to integrate ChatGPT with tools to maximize productivity. Now, Zapier has some really cool things. You can either get a paid or a free account, but you can use ChatGPT to connect. Um, you can use Zapier to connect ChatGPT with tools like Slack, Gmail, Google Sheets, etc. So you can have, if for example you summarize notes, ChatGPT can send that to Slack or to email. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you can use Slack ChatGPT to draft email responses. If you want the responses sent, you could use Zapier to send the emails directly. I'm not there yet. I still copy and paste. That way I know I'm the human in the middle. Notion AI is a really cool tool. It's like a website, but it's also a knowledge base. It also allows you to track projects and things. It's kind of a multi-tool where you can store your knowledge, so you can generate content ideas and send them directly to Notion pages. And as I understand it, I don't personally use Notion. I use something called The Brain instead. But as I understand it, you can publish stuff to the web, you can share task lists, you can create workflows, etc. A couple of other tools, and again, I could spend hours on each one of these, but I just want you to understand what's possible. So Zapier is the big integrator tool. Make.com is another one. And then, of course, we've got Slack or Microsoft Teams. So you can use ChatGPT to respond to routine questions or summarize lengthy conversations. And by the way, spoiler alert, if you don't know how to do this, and I assume you don't, you can say, ChatGPT, I am looking to create integration with make.com. Help me build a workflow that accomplishes this. So you could ask ChatGPT how to help you build this using make.com. Down the road, I will do deep dives on Zapier, on Make, on a bunch of the other ones, because I think there are some amazing tools that once you've freed up some time using just ChatGPT, you're going to start to look to other ones. Now, I asked ChatGPT to create a list of core productivity tools, and really it's up to you. Use your specific tools that work for you. What I would do normally to customize this is I would say, ChatGPT, I use Google Workspace for everything. So therefore, I want to optimize how I use Google Workspace. I'd like to learn some best practices. I would like to enhance my productivity primarily using Google Workspace. As a last resort, what are other tools that we could use? Now, you see what I did there is I asked GPT to prioritize the tools I already have, not give me new ones to play with. Now, ChatGPT is one of my core tools. I literally would be lost without it. I don't know that I'd willingly go back in time to time before we had ChatGPT, because it's really helped me amplify what I do. I use, like I said, thebrain.com. Chat suggests Notion to organize the ideas and manage workflows. Notion has AI powered suggestions, so does thebrain.com. Zapier, of course, is an integration tool. Optional, you can use Grammarly. I'm going to be honest, I found it very intrusive. And what I mean by that was everywhere I put a cursor to do something, Grammarly was popping up. And it would sometimes get in the way of what I was trying to do because I'd have to wait for Grammarly to catch up. I haven't fallen in love with Grammarly. I know people who can't exist without it. Um, I am willing to trust my own grammar and my own style. But if you want a little extra help, Grammarly is a good tool. Otter.ai is one of my go-tos. I use this to transcribe meetings and to generate summaries. It's very, very useful. In fact, probably by the end of this, I will do a demonstration and show you how I use Otter to turn my transcripts into notes and things like that. Now, for you, you can use Trello or Asana as project management tools. I use Google Workspace a lot, so I've figured out how to get that functionality in Google Workspace. And then I use Calendly to schedule meetings right now. I understand that Google Calendar has some more powerful tools that have come out recently. I haven't explored them, but my goal would be to eliminate all tech that is not built based um, on Google in some way, shape, or form. So that's my thoughts. Now, I use Todoist for tracking tasks. I'm transitioning over to Google for that. I also use Slack for real-time communication. I use Discord for other purposes. Um, and then there is Power Automate. Now, one thing that's not on this list that I'm going to dive deep in, because I use Google, there's something called Google Apps Scripts, and they integrate magically across all of the Google tools. So I'm currently working on building some workflows to solve common problems. And the beautiful thing about the Google Apps Scripts is I can share it with other people and they can use it just as if they had created it. So there's some amazing things right now. If you have any things that are manual and taking too much time, ask GPT how you can automate it. And again, always go back to the eliminate, automate, delegate process to find out what you can eliminate before you start to automate. And by the way, I love automating delegation. That just makes me smile inside. So now I created a workflow automation checklist, and this is really meant to help you determine what tasks you can automate. So first and foremost, is the task repetitive? Most tasks, we may not think they're repetitive. We may not see them, we look at them as part of the big picture. We don't see how repetitive they are. But if we can take out the little repetitive tasks and automate them, it can streamline everything. So if it is repetitive, does it involve clear inputs and outputs? And this is the question. And by the way, these are questions you can ask ChatGPT. Does it integrate with existing tools? Now, I seem to think in terms of workflows. So I always ask myself, what triggers this task? What are the inputs? What are the required steps? What tools are we using? What are the outputs? And then once you document that, you can ask GPT. You can see how it's got this little automation checklist. You can actually ask GPT how it could help you automate things. Now, the final thing for Module 9, I want to show you a couple of things, but the final thing I asked GPT to work on was to create an automation for a recurring business task. In this case, it picked automate weekly meeting summaries. So really simple. I'm not going to read it to you, but basically we use Otter or Zoom to transcribe it. We upload the transcription to ChatGPT. You can share the summary using Zapier, and you can track actions. Now, and you have access to the resources, I want you to see what I did. So again, I asked it for categories of experts and individual experts. that could help us with these projects. And I asked for 3 experts per. So basically, it talks about habit formation, it talks about automation, AI, et cetera, et cetera. So we've got a pretty good list of experts. And then it created a best practices for SOPs in this specific field. Again, you have access to this in the document so you can read it. And here it said, here's what we should include in each SOP. It categorized based on the experts, gave us some final thoughts. And now you will see, so the first draft was just a quick, without me asking for help. But what I did was I asked who the categories of experts are, and then I asked it to create detailed SOPs, and you'll see that the SOPs are much more detailed. Now, I'm not going to walk you through the SOPs because you have access to these in the Word document. But I want to show you that SOPs and automation go hand in hand, and also SOPs and delegation. I believe now, if I was a strange person, which I might be, I'd probably create an SOP for the eliminate, automate, delegate sequence first, and then I would use it and apply that to everything else I do. We'll get to that maybe as a bonus at the end, but for now, I just want you to understand the power of what ChatGPT can do with your other tools. So if you use the Microsoft Office ecosystem, for example, or you use Google or something else, just share with ChatGPT the systems that you predominantly use and ask it to help you optimize them. I actually did this. I was working on learning how to create my own custom AI models, and I asked ChatGPT to build the ecosystem based on the hardware and software I had available that could maximize my results without me having to get a whole bunch of extra software. So my goal in life and my goal for 2025, I'd like to eliminate all software that is not part of the Google ecosystem, or at least most of it. And I'd like to eliminate a lot of the digital clutter in my life. And I'm going to do that by using ChatGPT. I will continue to share how I do that. So I'd love your comments, questions below, and good luck optimizing your productivity.